Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and Rogue is not that good at ABX, which is a tragedy because Luna is still the queen of the speed hero, speed female hero, all those days of ABX. But that's okay, because Rogue is actually amazing at a lot of other things. But I wanted to start off with some ABX action just to highlight one area of the game where, despite all of Rogue's other successes, she's actually not that good. So she's not really that good for ABX, as you can see here. This is the burn month. She'll probably be better on the months where she can use her silence and paralysis and not have to switch back and forth. So that is something to consider, and that will raise her score. And if I play more and I practice more, I can probably get a better score. But this was about the score I was getting. This is actually a little bit higher than the score I got the first time I tried. So I think a good Rogue build with a CTP of Rage, which is what I have on her right now, will be able to probably net you, over 4 million, maybe close to 5 million. 5 million is really the last good reward, I believe, for ABX. I don't even remember what it is. But anyways, yeah, the rewards in ABX are not that good. But yeah, ABX is really not Rogue's forte, and she's not going to replace Luna Snow, especially with the White Fox combo, especially if you have the new White Fox uniform. The other thing about Rogue is her stats are not very high. As you can see, even with my, above average premium non-crafted cards, she's only at 35,000 physical attack. I've already got the uniform mythic. I already have 5-star Uru with 2 Odin's Blessings that grant additional physical attack. But yeah, she's only at 35,000. She does have 48,900 HP, which is really nice. But I have given her 1, 2, 3, 5 or 6-star HP Urus, and then 2 of the heal Odin's Blessings, and that's a little bit of foreshadowing for the PvP. But yes, her stats are low, but that's really it. Rogue is not that good for ABX, and her stats are kind of low. Those are basically the 2 negatives for Rogue tier 3, and that's it. Everything else that I'm going to talk about is a massive, gigantic, amazing positive. So there's a lot coming. But let me just quickly go over the build with you. Now, keep in mind, despite having low stats, she's got so many of her substats capped out because of her passives and other things. So I'm capped out on dodge, crit rate, crit damage, ignore defense, basically capped out on cooldown. I don't have attack speed capped because I don't need to, because of her buffs. Rogue has amazing self buffs. I never ended up talking about her rally boost passive, but they improved it tremendously with the 30% crit damage and the 15% crit rate. It makes it so easy to cap her stats without having to rely on crazy crafted cards. And then she's got crazy buffs like the 35, 35, 15. Keep in mind, all of the buffs that you see on Rogue, you will need to sort of do some mental math, or in my case, pull out a calculator and multiply them because of her energy utilization passive. And they actually restored this passive back to its original amount in terms of the increased buff effect. On the actually in the live server before this patch came out, it was actually showing 10% buff effect and 30% duration, and I actually made note of that when I did my sort of preview of X23 and Rogue, and I said, that might be a bit of an issue, but they might have done that for balancing reasons. Well, they put it back to where it was, and so yeah, the effect gets multiplied by 1.2, and then the duration gets multiplied by 1.3. So just take this buff, for example. I'm not going to do it for all of her buffs, but this is a 35% buff. That gets multiplied by 1.2 because it's an effect. So now that buff is actually 42%. So she's actually getting a 42% attack, 42% all defense buff, and that all speed buff is actually going to be 18%. So 18% all speed basically more than caps my attack speed, because the cap for attack speed is 130. But remember, that's an 8-second. That gets multiplied by 1.3. So this buff actually lasts 10 seconds. And you can cast this every 7.5 seconds. So she has a perma buff as long as she doesn't get debuffed, which is bonkers. So you just take that and you apply that to all of her buffs, not her debuffs. So not her decreased damage, but the reflect actually gets multiplied as well. So that's actually reflecting 120% physical damage. Yeah. And it's not for 10 seconds, it's for 13 seconds. And her immunity is not 5 seconds, it's 7 seconds. So all of those buffs get improved. All the buffs on her tier 3 skill, instead of 70% ignore dodge, I believe it's 84% ignore dodge. She gets 84% ignore dodge for 8 seconds or 7.5 seconds. Her damage proc is not 100%, it's 120%. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. And so because of all of those buffs and because of her passive, just like Captain Marvel, a CTP of Rage is really, really going to be the top pick for her. Now you can make it work with a CTP of Judgment. That's definitely an option because she has all elemental damage. And I basically did some testing in PvP. It's all elemental. It's like 100% elemental. So Judgment is going to do really well. But yeah, it's all mind and lightning. If you have a mind damage, lightning damage proc obelisk, that could work as well because she has a pretty decent 3 cancel, 4 cancel, 5 combo. Otherwise, you know, that's basically, I mean, you could try with the CTP of energy as well, but she doesn't have any chain hit damage to take advantage of that. But this is my build. I want to go over it quickly because it is a bit of a mix of PvE and PvP, but I don't need any crit rate, or I don't even need that crit damage Uru that's down there hiding because, like I said, I'm way overcapped. 4.5% crit damage, 9% crit rate. Everything's overcapped, baby. So yeah, super easy for Sugar to go ahead and cap all of her stats. For the uniform, I'll just briefly go over it. We've got dodge, physical attack, ignore, defense, dodge, all attack. And then it's Colossus, Spider-Man Far From Home, Storm, Inhumans, X-Men, Odin, Allfather, and Black Widow Snow Suit. Now, you can build your Rogue for either PvE or PvP because I honestly think she's great for both. I'll quickly show you here the tier 3 animation. But we're going to take her into a little bit more content. I'll give you guys a bit of a preview of what she can do. And then, yeah, we'll wrap up the summary. I've got a lot more Rogue content that I want to bring to you later on. But for now, I want to give you sort of the lay of the land. Okay, before we jump into the world boss stuff, let me just first go off. I'm not going to show you the fight because it's kind of, you know, squad battles, not that interesting. But 2.4 or almost 2.4 million here in squad battle on my very first try. Now, yes, it's with the CTP of Rage, but I have 0 Pierce on my cards. And from what I've heard, Pierce helps with squad battle a lot. So she's already going to give me 1 million more points in squad battle than Deadpool. So you've already got a clear winner there. She's #1 for the Vibranium League for the female, or not female, sorry, the speed hero mutant category. And I've seen scores as high as 6 million. So Rogue can go way higher. This is nowhere near her highest. People have basically tripled my score. Let me just see actually if there's anybody here. No, we've got nobody running Rogue here right now, but I have seen screenshots of some Korean players hit 6 million. Now let's jump into some world boss content so you can see what she can do. Here we go, Null Stage 5. We're going to be using Magneto's leadership and the team up bonuses with Gambit to get us through this fight here. And now what you want to do, you want to start off your Rage proc with 4 cancel 3. And then you don't want to cancel 5 until she does her flip, and then you don't want to cancel 6 at all. That is one thing that you want to make sure you're not doing with Rogue. For PvE, you could try to get her counter to trigger, but I find that it's easier to just you know, sit down and wait for the damage to come on 5 and 6. 5 and 6 have a bit longer animations, but you definitely don't want to cancel 6 at all because there's a lot of damage in that skill, and actually the end of 6 looks a lot like the end of Storm. You want to wait for that backflip and defer to land. I keep getting knocked back, but yeah, you want to wait. She's going to get bigger like Apocalypse. She's going to beam down, and then there's going to be this lightning. See that lightning strike there right at the end? That adds a ton of additional damage, and it synergizes super well with with the accumulation that she has on 3. We're getting knocked back a lot, which is kind of unusual, but this is basically the rotation, and you can see here she can quite comfortably do, despite all this time that I've lost from being knocked back, she can do stage 5 without any supports, which is quite impressive, given I have no Pierce on my cards and all that good stuff, you know. Yeah. So this is just a quick preview of what she can do. I want to take her into higher stages of Null, so I don't want to show you guys the whole fight. But I wanted to give you guys a taste of her rotation against Null. Look at her HP. Super tanky. Despite getting knocked back, despite getting stunned, she's so tanky defensively. The guaranteed dodge and her 75% dodge because of the Rage proc, her healing, her damage reduction. She's so tanky, and she plays so smoothly. It's just really nice. It's just really nice. I want to show you guys one more quick clip here. We're going to jump into 99, and I'm going to show you... Oh, I think that's what we were trying here. You want to use Coulson if you want to take Rogue into content that's not Null World Boss, so any of the other World Bosses, basically. You want to bring Coulson because Rogue does not have guaranteed crit. She has crit rate on her passive, but no guaranteed crit rate. So sometimes her Rage proc can be a little bit fussy about activating. The leadership doesn't really matter here between Enchantress, White Fox, and Dr. Voodoo. It doesn't matter which one you use because Rogue does not have the brave or like the leadership ability with the little Captain America shield. So any one of the three matters. You don't need to have this uniform. Just slot in Dr. Voodoo. He's the free-to-play alternative. But here we're going to do the same thing. The only sort of bit of RNG that you're going to deal with is sometimes Proxima will decide... You get snared, fine. Sometimes Proxima will decide to move out of the way. You want to wait for that flip. She'll move out of the way of the fourth skill. And the fourth skill is what applies the all defense down. You got to wait for that lightning. So good. But you can see here, the damage, she hits hard, right? You can sometimes let her 2-skill play for the iframe if you think you're going to get interrupted or whatever. But boom, dude. Big damage. No striker. Stage 99. Just look at this. Juicy damage, right? And she can just... honestly, I can just tank these hits, and I can tank a lot of damage. That's what I really like about Rogue is she hits like a truck, and she also tanks like a truck too. Trucks don't tank. I guess she tanks like a tank. Wait for the flip. So yeah, basically 5 and 6 are really the skills that you want to pay attention to and not cancel them early. But 4 and 3 you can basically insta cancel. You can also let 2 play out. The damage is not bad. It's more just about the iframe. But look at this. I basically paused, but otherwise, in the span of a minute, and I'm just tanking those spears as well. I was getting hit by those spears. In the span of like a minute 10, she's already crushed Proxima down to 7 bars. So awesome, right? So she's meta. She's #1 meta for Vibranium squad battle, and for any other squad battle restrictions where you have to use speed mutants, right? Maybe not speed females we saw from ABX, but speed mutants. She's amazing for world boss regular world boss ultimate. She's amazing for she's good for null. That's not all. Let's check her out in PvP. This is where it gets kind of wild. So I've got a CTP of Rage on her. We're going to be using Nick Fury and Colossus. Colossus, of course, for the damage reduction and the CTP of Insight. But Nick Fury is going to be providing the super armor. Now, the one thing that Rogue is missing from her old uniform and her old buffs is that her third skill no longer gives her plus 85% all defense and doesn't give her super armor. So you need that super armor here because she doesn't have it. Otherwise, if I had a CTP of regen or I had like a PvP build on her, then you definitely don't need Nick Fury. Now, apologies in advance to the guy I'm about to fight here. Oh, where have you gone, my friend? Oh no, where is Caucasian Man? Oh, there he is, rank 4. We're gonna fight Caucasian Man. This is a massively, meta team. This is an extremely meta team with Silver Surfer, Sentry, and Jean Grey. And what I want you to pay... Okay, wow, he died really fast. I want you to pay attention to Sentry having 250,000 HP, and, Silver Surfer having 211. Now, Silver Surfer is being a bit of a weirdo, not doing his third skill, but we just gotta wait to bait out the third skill, and it's a one-shot. It's a one-shot with her 5th, which is awesome, right? Now, here's where the fun's gonna start. Oh, by the way, her 5th skill has a really long targeting window. Let's see how she does against this guy here. Look at this. Long iframe on 5 to basically dodge his iframe. Look at her counterattack. Look at the damage on her counterattack. I'm going to start with 5 immediately. Go back into 3. Interrupt him. And kill him. Now, here's the hilarious part. Check out how much damage I'm going to do to Jean Grey. This is where it gets really funny. I just soloed a Sentry who has a reforged CTP of regeneration. That is by no means a free-to-play build. That's a very expensive build there. That was 2 CTPs minimum that he sacrificed with a silver, and I soloed Silver Surfer before that with a Rage. This is not a PvP build, ladies and gentlemen. I only have 22% HP on my cards. I am not a PvP player. I'm not an Alliance Conquest player. But she can't do any damage to Jean Grey. Because all of her damage is elemental, she gets hard countered by the Marvel Girl Jean Grey. Because Marvel Girl Jean Grey is universal, so she doesn't have any weaknesses. She doesn't have a type disadvantage. And she has the base 100% resistances. So if you go over to Jean Grey's character, you'll see in the details page, she's 100% for all of the resistances. And that's why Rogue only deals 1 damage. Now, I think maybe if you use like Taskmaster or another support, maybe you can get around that. You can also get around that by fighting the X-Men Red Jean Grey. Because she's a blast type, she will take more damage from speed types because of the type advantage. So max out your type enhancement on Rogue. But yeah, she's pretty nuts. I gotta say, I'm very, very, very happy with Rogue. I think the devs, they really hit it out of the park. She's very strong for an 800 CCF tier 3. She is very relevant in the meta for multiple game modes, and she's surprisingly strong in PvP despite having a PvE build and no guard break immunity. That third skill is nuts. That perfect counterattack, it really is kind of perfect. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm very excited, and it's going to be, honestly, it's going to be very hard for me to decide how I want to end up building Rogue, because it's kind of really satisfying to smash Sentry in the face with Rogue. But at the same time, I want to smash Null in the face, so I don't know what to do. PvP, PvE, PvE, PvP. I don't know. Anyways, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.